Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. You're just gonna stare at me like that, pal? Alright, enjoy. Well, or Jenks shed. Ended up getting another air compressor starter kit because this was cheaper than just buying the hose and the fittings, so that'll be sandblaster hose. And then got the cheapest 8-piece compression test kit, which online appears to say that gauge is just straight up not accurate at all. But the whole idea is really just compare each of the 4 cylinders to one another. If one of them is bunk, hopefully this thing will at least tell me that, but I'm not going to trust the actual PSI reading on this, and it was $34. So Harbor Freight once again. Oh, and a $3 tape measure. Awesome. Alright, went to Ace, got more junk for putting this box together. So I think that should do it. And you can finally stop me doing carpentry. Okay. Well, I done did it. This is a box with 2 gloves and some holes. This one's like a exhaust port, sort of, where I'll just put a shop vac filter over it, so hopefully, you know, the pressure doesn't build in here and it explodes. This is all very, you know, could just not work at the end, and then I just go buy one. But hey, look, you know, got the thing in there to attach to that thing. And now I just need to let all of the silicone dry. So, feeling somewhat accomplished, a little bit. But yeah, that took an entire week. So next, hopefully, start taking those apart and sandblasting. Okay. Cheese. LaCroix. In theory, that's done. I should be able to just kind of hook it up, do some sandblasting, but first, got to disassemble these boys. So I think I'll start with the little guy and see how that goes. But first is cheese. So there goes. All right, one done. Probably took 30 minutes, and one of these just popped out with compressed air. The other one took some wrenching, which was concerning. I think I put the vice grips on the part that doesn't need like good sealing. Otherwise they look real clean, which is good because I kind of need to reuse those, or else if any of these are really busted up, I'm gonna have to find new ones. But yeah, next up should be some sandblasting. And you can see here's the old stuff, here's the new stuff. So yeah, progress. It only took a week to do that, but I gotta run and check the piston compression now, which I think I can do in a couple hours, hopefully, with the car not in the garage, but we shall see. I'm back. Let's figure out which key this is again. I think it's this one. Oh, maybe not. Oh, that is so sticky. Whoop. Well, time to try the compression tester. Let's see how this goes. Alright, drained the blue stuff so that I can get at those two coil packs. Gonna probably just take the battery and that thing out. And luckily I don't have an air box, so I should be able to get to those without too much issue. But yeah, here goes. Oh, first spark plug's out. After, I don't know, 20 miles of driving, it looks pretty good. But these aren't NGK, iridium, platinum, whatever, so I'll replace those eventually, but not until I actually start driving. But got the new bit, just need to finagle, figure out how to get that way down in there, and then attach it to that. And then I got to undo some of these. Let's see here. Come on. Yeah, I got to figure out which one's the like fuel and ignition and blah blah blah, whatever. So there it goes. All right, well, today I learned, I learned a lot, but this little green connector going into a white connector back there is the fuel pump. So you got to disconnect that, then crank the engine bit, depressurize the fuel system, and then take out the spark plug. So go back and do that. Conveniently, oh god, sorry. Like this was already missing the plastic thing. You can tell this one's kind of disconnected. Someone's already been in here, so it was pretty easy for me to just move the plastic out of the way. So thanks, Subi Bros. All right, now crank the engine up. I hope the phone doesn't fall into the belts here. It's fine. There it goes. Success. Here we go. Pop. Pop. Life pro tip on the back one, spin it upside down. Then it's way easier to get out. Same thing going back in. Don't forget, black is back, white is front. Alright. Well, there goes that. Right into the mulch. Oh, geez. Ow. Well, dirt never hurt nobody. Except for engines. Now this could be tricky. Especially on the rear. Let's think about that later. I just make it in there. Let's see. Surely. I think I need a longer extension. BRB. Got some extender things. Let's see how this goes. Come on. Okay. Maybe like that. Maybe. Ruh-roh. Where'd it go? Maybe I did do it. Well, this is going to take a while. The nerve on these guys. Well, quick discovery that almost made me poo myself. This little brass piece, it's a 19 millimeter. You would need like a microscopically thin 19 millimeter socket in order to put the around there and fit it through the thing. So basically, if you screw this in, it'll get stuck. The only way I was able to get it out is by threading in the hose, and then luckily being able to thread it out. So I think I'm going to put some sort of tape around this and then just use the hose to thread it in and see if that works, because on this bar I could end up getting this stuck in there and then that would be sad. But yeah, maybe buy a different kit, you know, than the Pittsburgh one if you got an EJ205. Well, I think that's about as good as I'll get it, so I need to reconnect the battery. Well, here goes nothing. Let's see if I can't put the phone here without it falling and dying. Cylinder number 1, or the front left, driver's side, whatever. Alright. This is surely gonna fall. Maybe. Well, maybe it'll run smooth enough it won't. But here goes. Anything? Hey, look at that. Not too shabby. One more time. Okay, 130. That's kind of what you expect, right? Nice. All right, did cylinder number 2 way back down there. It's the rear one. Huge pain in the ass. Also, if you drop your thing into a bunch of mulch, it's hard to find. Just heads up. But here goes. Try this one, and the phone will stay. It will stay. It will stay. Are you recording vertically, you freaking genius? Okay, well, here goes number 2. Let's see how she does. Quick heads up, you gotta reconnect the battery every time or else it's not gonna turn over, just in case you were wondering. Oh, the battery's heavy. Okay, now how are we looking? That looks the same as the first cylinder. Neato. Okay, that's all reassembled. There's one coil pack, there's the other. Good Lord. Thank goodness I have such dainty little tiny hands that can finesse down way in there to screw in some 12 millimeter bolts. But cool, that side's done. I've already semi-disconnected that so that I can hopefully do this side now. Can you stop recording vertically, phone? Alright, I'll set you next to the boost solenoid here. If the phone would balance, yeah, sure, why not? Right. Oh, that's too soon. Nice. Yeah, in there. Come on, boy. That's a lot. Let's do this first. Oh, God, man. Oh, no, there it is. Break loose. No, that's much easier by hand. Oh, what kind of gorilla? Tighten down. Come on, big crabs. Right. You know what I'm supposed to do? And you really see all I can. I'm gonna hand loosen here. Pull up. Up. Is that done? No. You want to get some so they can hold the light while I build them up. Come on. Oh, there we go. And same. I can't tell when it does focus on it. Oh, this is far more up. And it should be good, right? Don't drop it. Oh, it's soon. Son of a light turns. Oh, don't drop it. Dear God, please. Well, this is hard. Okay, now I can film this because that would have gone way easier. Alright, you good now, bro? There you go. Pop that in here. Pop. Okay. White front, black rear. Write that down, chat. Now for the Sparko pluggo. Should be pretty easy. God, it's like there's a football field of room on this side compared to the other one. You know, I just had an idea. What if, Subaru, you put the pistons vertically and in line in a 4-cylinder configuration? It would be so much easier to work on. All right, don't drop it down there. Okay. There's that guy. Looks pretty spark pluggy. Not burnt through yet. Oh, man, my back sure likes me doing this all the time. Here's the, this thing. Just feed it in there and then start twisting the hose. And hope that it threads correctly. All right, now I regret saying how much room there was. Oh, actually, there we go. Easy. That feels pretty solid. So we're gonna go ahead and reconnect the dingus up. Hang on. Okay. We're just gonna leave you there and hope you don't fall into the engine. All right, here we go again. What's it say, chat? What's it look like? Hey, not too shabby, eh? Same as the other two, I think. I'm just gonna, you know, you should write these things down. Or at least if you film it and then you rewatch it, then you'll know. But, you know, I think they've all been around the 140 mark, which seems decent. And also, internet said, oh, this Pittsburgh one sucks. I think that's accurate. Because, yeah, well, that's PSI on the outside, right? KPA's on the inside. Kilopascal. What a nerd Pascal was. Alright, time for the last one. Alright, last one. Not that you can really see anything, but thread in the old tube. Yep, oh yep, there she goes. It's record. That's recording. You go fire it up. And the battery's connected. And I disconnected the fuel pump so it won't start. Oh. Okay. You see it move? It went like this. Okay. But it did end up at whatever that is. That's pretty much the same number that it's been for all of them. That one's even a little bit higher. Well, that's all 4 of them. Now I just gotta put all this side back and then reconnect the fuel pump. I'll probably start it just to do that. But hey, this appeared to work, and that appeared to give good results. So you know, YouTube, maybe just because there's 2 guys that gotta bunk one of these, that doesn't mean that they're all terrible. But I mean, it's still $34. So if you're a serious mechanic and not just Joe Schmo, maybe spend more money. But hey, did the job for me. So, but yeah, also EJ205 with this thing kind of sketched that I almost got it stuck in the cylinder, and then like how was I going to get that out? So word to the wise, but cool. All right, everything should be reconnected. So Vivaldi? Oh, not really. Standby, it says. Well, let's try it. There it goes. Come on, baby. Maybe if I oh, I think she's trying. Fuel pump must be priming itself. Oh, it's so close. Oh, tachometer went a little bit. All right, just need to keep priming the oil or gas. I'm pretty sure I reconnected everything. Like, the only thing I did was down there, that little oil, gas pump switch, which I just put back in there. It's clearly trying to do something. I didn't do any relays or any other, fuses. You know, I think it just needs a little time. Try again. Kenwood starting up. Stand by. I think it's just gonna take a while. Well, that doesn't sound too good. 1 second. Is there anything I could have done that would have messed that up? I just got shocked when I touched that, so... Is like something not doing something? I'll be right back. 10th time's the charm. Okay, now it's fine. Literally didn't do anything. I didn't touch anything in the engine bay, but okay. Cool. Well, I guess I'll let it heat up for a bit. It is cold out. Oh God, Samsung, can you... Like, I swear, this phone is so temperamental. Oh, there's some smoke. Got to put that back there. So cool. Mission accomplished, sort of. Well, the engine bay smelled like gas a little bit, but I'm just going to chalk that up to me disconnecting and reconnecting the fuel pump. So it's whatever. If I can get Vivaldi going, that'd be nice. And then also, I'm not sure if y'all be able to see this. So, really curious. Any idea what this little LED might be? Let's see if you can see that. That's definitely just a little LED drilled into this plastic. So eventually I'm going to take off all this plastic and you know, see what's up. I need to fix the lights still, parking lights and interior. But like, curious what that is. Subi power light, maybe, to indicate when I have, you know, extra Subi power. I don't know. No Vivaldi. That's disappointing. Car still runs. It's a good sign. Okay, Subi lives. There's a squirrel yelling at me out there. Man, Samsung, when I tap the screen, I just want you to focus. I don't want you to walk. Where's that squirrel? But anyway, it's alive. I put the reservoir back. I'm not going to fill it because I have a feeling I'm going to need to take it out again at some point. But it's cold, losing sunlight. Gonna call it. Gonna give sandblasting a shot. Well, go up to 90 psi. And then here goes nothing. Set you up here. Have a nice look. And I'm gonna put on a what do you call it? Respirator. Alrighty, let's give it a shot. Should be all loaded up. See how it does. Goodbye, Subaru logo. Not too bad. Alright, it was too much of a pain in the ass to film, but there it is. Come here. That is a mostly sandblasted brake caliper. I mean, like, I still got a little bit to do, but not too bad. And that only took 80% of that entire box of sand to do, and now all the sand is in there on the bottom. So I can like reclaim it. I mean, it's full of sawdust. But not gonna lie, a little bit proud that this piece of junk sandblasting cabinet technically worked, and it's sealed hermetically. I didn't have any issues with sand all over the jank shed, so hey, not too bad. But I think the plan for the rest of these is going to be, you know, I already started with this one, basically sand by hand everything that I can. Nice rhyming. And then the sandblaster is reserved for all these little nooks and crannies. So I'll go buy some more sand. You know, this only took, honestly, like, it's so much faster just to sandblast. I wish I just bought a legit setup. Whatever. Hindsight's 2020. I'm still proud of my little jank box, and it does technically work. So, hey, not too bad. But cool. That's at least promising proof of concept. And the Subaru logo is still there. I was curious. It kind of looks like, I don't know, it's just kind of etched in there, but we'll see. I still don't know what color I'm going to go with. I might just do black. I'm not super fan of the red, but we'll see. Cool. Jank blasting cabinet, somewhat success, sort of. One down, 7 to go. I think this is like 98% good. There's still a few little red flecks right here and there if Samsung would focus. But like, honestly, pretty pleased with these results. For a Harbor Freight 6 gallon tank that really only runs for like a minute before it starts churning again. But really, like, that gives me time to refill this thing, which, you know, life pro tip, this has a little screen in the cap that you have to pour the sand through, or else it just clogs immediately and doesn't work. So, you know, learning, living, thriving. Might go buy more sand. Right now, the strategy here, you can see it all gathers at the bottom, and then I just drilled a hole. You can kind of see it on the bottom, and then I heave the whole thing and I tilt it over into a little sandwich bag, and then repeat the process. So again, you know, you could just buy one of these, but look at the satisfaction that I have in my hands with the thing I built that is not suffocating me. All of this is sealed. Like, I think it's working, and it works okay. It's only slightly more tedious than the others, but yeah, you know, I'm gonna keep working on it. What's kind of interesting is that Subaru logo's still showing up through there, which, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll get a decal. Maybe I'll get it to say something funny. I don't know how much effort I'm going to put in, but cool. Keep on moving. Lucy, I need my hoodie. Kitty. Hello. What's this? Oh, thank you, Lucy.
Good stretch. Oh, isn't that nice? Good your kid.